Hello, my YouTube friends. Thanks for joining in tonight. Ah, get so pumped up, man. It's so good to be hanging out with you guys tonight. I hope you had a wonderful day today. Ah, and if you haven't, man, you're going to have a great day now, man. Thank you guys for joining in, man. We got a lot of cool stuff going on, as always, at the Audio Master Show. Oh, man. Thank you guys for participating in the Audio Master group. Tony, thank you for so much. I'm so glad I found you, and I'm so glad that I'm able to post your stuff on the group page, man. If you haven't joined the Audio Master Facebook group page, you need to do so now because we got some really cool stuff going on. We got engineers and producers and musicians, and everybody's joining. It's fun, and everybody's participating and putting their stuff and commenting. The wonderful things about music, man. Tonight we're just going to talk about the good things and the times that we've had in the music industry and the beautiful toys that we've got to play with. Everything from just killer microphones. We got great microphones to talk about. And you know what? All of us love microphones, man. We got microphones to talk about. We got musicians to talk about. We got just everything really, really cool to talk about. If it has to do with music, as you guys know, man, I know you love music as much as I love music. And so, here's the thing about most engineers and a lot of engineers that do that record for other bands and whatnot at one time in their life, and they're musicians too, man. So a lot of great engineers were also great musicians, and so they kind of work hand in hand. And you might have a great musician, then he feels like he wants to start recording and mixing for himself, and then he starts to do it for other people and starts to help them out, and it's just a win-win situation. Once you're in the industry, man, there's all these other avenues that you can actually get into and be a part in the music business, man. And that is the beauty of this art that we all are in love with. But thank you, Tony Drake. Thank you, Stephen and Tona Nazi, man, for sharing the information you shared with me the other night on the mixing board that you got in your studio, man. Oh my gosh, man. To know that all those people, all those famous people actually went to that studio and recorded all their tracks through your board that you actually have at hand is just a wonderful thing to know, man. I mean, as you know, we were talking the other night, and I was like, oh wow, all these people sang through that Neumann 87 that you got, and I'm thinking to myself, if I knew that and walked into your studio and knew that someone from Steely Dan sang through that mic, or someone from No Doubt or whatever sang through that microphone or mixed through that board, that would inspire me to get so freaking pumped up that I'm fixing to step up to what they once sang through. And now it's time for me to put on my freaking A game because I am pumped up, man. Well, let's get this baby going, push play, record, and let's go. I love it, man. Hey, when that play record hits go, I do not get nervous. I get comfortable. It's like, okay, I'm ready, man. Game on. Let's do this. Let's have some fun, man. Turn down the lights, man, and let's just nail it. And if we don't nail it, let's just do it again and keep having fun. I know I love doing that, especially like with vocal tracks, man. When the engineer's in there and the light hits go, and it's time to play record. Let's do a take, and don't ask me if I'm ready, man, because when that takes over, I'm ready to do another one. And we're gonna pick between them, and we're gonna pick what phrasing we want to use on the line. So just let her roll, man. Don't ask me if I'm ready. Hit play record again, and when I hear the music, I'm cued. I know where I need to come in. So anyway, I dealt with that with the last guy that was running playing engineer for me. I'd be in there wanting to, lay down some vocal tracks, and he would just continue asking me if I'm ready and all this stuff. I'm saying, dude, I am so ready. You have no idea how ready I am. Don't worry about me. Just let that baby run. Let's record, man. Let's have some fun. But anyway, it's a neat thing, man, to know that there's so much out there for us to be in love with, man. And if you love music as much as I do, it's going to show, and you're going to really, really enjoy it, and you're going to attract those people out there that love it and have that compassion just like you do and have been in the game even longer than, me or you or whatever. Um, they may be pushing 65, they may be pushing 70 or 80. It doesn't matter, man. They were musicians. And here's the thing about that art is it'll always be with you the rest of your life, man. And so no matter what field you're in the music industry, it is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing to be a part of, man. Ha! So look, here is the deal. If you are not a part of our Facebook group, it's easy. Look, I got people typing in every day, and this is what they say: how do I join your Facebook group? Right? I'm like, okay, well, this should be easy, but let me tell you. And so, if you don't know, I want to explain to you now how to join the Facebook group. It's easy, man. You go to your Facebook, and at the corner up there, it'll have groups. You got to look for this little section and it'll have groups. And you click on the groups and you type in Audio Master. And here's the thing that I was experimenting with Tony the other day. If they're not accepting friends or whatnot, and you can't friend them, then perhaps I can't send out a friend request for you to join. So we have to be friends first for that to happen. Now, I'm not sure if that's the way it works with other people that, aren't assigned to that. So, but typically, if you just go to your groups, you type in Audio Master, you'll find me and you can, join the group. So, anyway, or I can send you a link. Either way, join the group. We got a lot of cool things going on, man. And you don't want to miss out. You just don't want to miss out on everything that we got going on, man. And I'll tell you what's going on right now is a time, and I talked about this in one of my other videos. I really, 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 really feel like this. You know how whenever there's a storm, when there's a storm that happens and there's flooding that happens, a lot of times what happens is if you have ants that are out there, they'll end up just floating on top of the water. And what they'll do is they'll all cling together so that you'll have these ants that are rolling down the stream in big, huge mounds and piles so that they can stay together and float and make it through the storm. That's the way I feel about our daggum Facebook group, man. We're getting people that are joining who are musicians and engineers and everybody, and we cling together. You used to hear that saying years ago, birds of a feather flock together. Well, you know what? I feel like this Facebook group thing that we got going on, it's just a beautiful thing. Uh, and I love reaching out to people and inviting new people into the group. So don't lose hope on your dreams. Don't lose hope on anything because the name of the game is to believe and keep having faith in what you're doing and hold fast, steadfast, and be firmly grounded and rooted and planted in to your dreams and what you love, and continue even when it's dark and you can't see. You can't see through the forest or you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel. Don't worry about that, man. Just stay focused on what you love, stay focused, and keep plowing and pushing forward, man. And you know what? Our dreams can and will come true. So I wanted to encourage you tonight with that message that was brought upon me as I venture through my life as well, and how sometimes things can look very dark and the rug can be completely pulled out from underneath you. And it feels like someone just hit you from the side and, gave you a punch from the side. You never saw it coming and but here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. If you stay focused and you get back up and you pull yourself together and you get back up, even when it hurts, and you keep pushing, even when it hurts, even when you see no hope, is when those other doors and other doors, they say when one door shuts, another one opens. Well, here's the way it is: when one door shuts, many open. Okay. And then here's the thing with that: you have the opportunity at that point to decide and have options. And you know what about life? What's great about life is when you have options. Isn't it great that you can have options? Well, maybe I'll do this or maybe I'll do that. Or this sounds good, but sounds better over here, right? So it's good to have options in life, and it's good to be able to pick what avenue or what door you want to go through. So if one door closed on you guys out there and it doesn't look too bright for you, I just want to encourage you, man. Don't give up on your dreams. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay focused. Stay grounded, and you're gonna be okay, man. You're gonna be okay. So I got people writing in. So people, I wanted to say this too. I don't know what it is. A lot of people feel uncomfortable about texting their messages or whatever on Facebook, and they feel more comfortable about hitting me up on my messenger. So on my phone, on my messenger, I'm always getting people that are writing in and sending in questions and whatnot. But hey, look, that's totally cool, and I'm cool with that. But don't feel like that, don't be hesitant to ask me anything you want to on Facebook. I mean on the YouTube channel, because that's what it's for. It's for people to comment and whatnot. And I don't know. If you got something to say, if it's personal, I understand. But if it's something that you got an audio question about, go ahead and write in there, man. We can chat and whatever. And heck, you know what? If you want to, if you feel even more comfortable, um, Tony, I'd like to bring you in, man. I want to interview you, Tony. You seem like a very interesting person to get to know on a personal basis. And I would love to have you on, man, and just do an interview of how you fell in love with music, when you fell in love with music, who all you played with, and what you're doing. And I would just love to hear all about it, man. And I'm sure a lot of the Facebook group would love to too, as well. And so, anyway, hit me up, private message me if you want to, if you feel comfortable. Let's do it, man. Let's hang out together, man, and talk. So Steven and I are actually going to do a show on the board that he has in his room now. That was, all these famous people actually went in and did tracks on and whatever, and was, mixed out their album on. And so, man, I cannot wait for that. And me and him were talking last night. We were going to do a little test run. So he calls me up on my phone, and we're talking. And man, we just start, what seemed like or could have been a 10 or 15-minute conversation, dude. It wasn't until 11 o'clock or so before we got off the phone. And you know why? Because we were talking about recording gear. We were talking about gear, man. We were talking about this and that and mixing boards. And he was showing me some tapes that he had, some 2-inch tape. And we got to talking about musicians and how they tracked back in the day and how they would just let the tape roll. And people, that's how they did it a lot. He was saying that a lot of the musicians actually would go to the studio, and the engineer would sit back there and they just put play record, and they would actually rehearse with the 2-inch tape going, and lay down some tracks. And if they came up with anything, then a lot of that stuff was just cut and piece and however, and they had some great stuff, just on improv and stuff. So anyway, he was telling me how he had a bunch of tapes, and he hasn't listened to them all, but how he needs to and would like to go back and just to listen to those old tracks and those tapes of musicians jamming. And so I'm thinking, man, what a neat thing, to listen to all the cool tracks and 2-inch tape. Here's the thing about that is when you actually have separate tracks, you can actually go back and do the mixing yourself and actually play the engineer as to seeing the mix in a different perspective, right? And so, the way it is on the radio, but it's nice to be able to do some different things. But I love this microphone right here. This is the RE20, and a lot of people favor the Shure SM7B, the one that I'm talking to now. And I really like this microphone too. It really has a nice, broadcast sound, but it's used extensively on other recordings and, tracks in the studio. And you see this one a lot in the mixing room in behind the board. So an artist may get in the same room as the engineer, fire up his monitors and play through the monitors and actually sing through the Shure SM7B and rock and roll, man. Get the tracks. Here's the thing: as a lot of people, and you've heard it in my other videos, A lot of people sing flat or sharp whenever they've got their headphones on, and that's why you see a lot of the artists either pull one of the side of the cans off so they can actually hear themselves singing, and then also hear themselves through one side of the mix in the cans. So, I did that for a while, but I was even more uncomfortable with that because I felt like I wasn't connected to the mix that way. And so, at least when you're singing openly in a room, you can hear the music coming out of the speakers, and it's more like singing in the shower. You can actually hear the music in the room, and you can hear yourself singing to the music in the room, and you just feel more connected to the music that way. And that's why a lot of people sing better and nail the tracks a lot faster when they're not singing through the headphones. And so a lot of that has to do with the mix, whether the engineer is giving them the mix they actually need to hear. The engineer can be hearing the mix a certain way and not giving the artist what they need to hear to perform their best. And it's not that the engineer is a bad engineer; he could be the best engineer. And but here's the thing: I've just found it a lot easier when you can go in and not have to worry about that. Listen to your monitors and be able to take a nice dynamic microphone like the Shure SM7B that rejects sound really, really well from behind, and get your artist in that room and he's hearing the music, man. And you got it at a nice level to where he can kind of feel it and get into it, man. And he starts singing out louder and he starts stepping a little further away from the microphone. He's not hogging the mic. He's not trying to work the mic in any kind of way. He's just letting his emotions and come out. And a lot of times, the way he's normally used to singing, or you're hearing him sing, especially if you hear him sing the tracks through the headphones first, you take the headphones off of him, and then all of a sudden he starts phrasing the song differently than whenever he was singing in the headphones. And it has to do with him being comfortable, and it has to do with him letting go and approaching the song in a different way. And a great artist who is a great singer knows this. And what they can do is actually give you a vocal track and then say, okay, I like that, but let me try this. I've got this in mind and I want to phrase this one word or two a little bit differently. I want to give it to you in another approach. And I want to highlight this one word in red and give it to you like that instead of giving it to you in blue. And so that was something I learned years ago. If you guys don't know that little trick, is to, for you songwriters out there, when you write a song, you write the song out, and then you go down through the song and you emphasize the song, certain words within the lyrics or the phrases in different colors. Say, like, I want to phrase this word in blue, but when I get to this word before the springboard line, I want to phrase this word in red. And then that way you've got everything underlined. And then when you actually remember the song, and it don't take long, just a few times, you artists know exactly what I'm talking about. After you write a song and you play the song a few times, you remember the whole song. You don't have to look at the lyric sheet anymore. Then, when you know it by heart and you can express it by your feelings and your heart, how you feel at any given night, then you can convey that in a very convincing way, and not just convey it in a convincing way, but you can elaborate on how you want to phrase each line. Ah, and it all has to do with mood and vibe. And that's the cool thing about it, man. Um, yeah, rehearsing's great, but knowing your lines and actually being able to convey them in a way that's very expressively is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And so yeah, there's a lot of little tricks out there, man. But singing in the studio without your headphones on is a really, really cool thing. And this is another great mic that you can actually do that with and get away with in your studio. For those of you who don't know what kind of microphone this is the Electrovoice RE20. It is a well known microphone around the world. It has been out for many, many, many years, and it's in every broadcasting studio there is worldwide, pretty much. And it is just a very, very nice microphone to sing through. Has a nice presence about it, and then it also has a bass roll off here on the side. Let me show this to you. This is what's kind of nice about this. Now I have it set at flat, which is a straight line, and the line that's half angled looks like a 45 right there. Let me get a little closer. Okay, see the line that has like a 45 and then a straight line on it? That's actually the base roll off area that you'd want to pull that little switch over, and it actually rows off, the low end. And but I like recording it at flat and then putting a high pass filter on it later if I feel like I need to, because I never know, especially like if it's a certain key or whatever of the song. Um, I just like the way it sounds flat, and then I can always go, like I say, and put a high pass filter on it. But I love this microphone. It's a really nice microphone. Um, and then I love the Shure SM7B. It's just another great standard for the recording studio. And then I got this little puppy the other night. This is the Shure 55 SH microphone that's put out. I will say something about this microphone. I love the brushed look on here. I love this brushed metal look. And I want to show you something. So see, I'm putting my fingers all over it, right? Check this out. I'm putting my fingers all over it. They're not clammy or anything. My fingers are somewhat dry right now, so they're not clammy. But I'm putting my fingers on it. Now I want you to look. Look at the mic. There's no fingerprints on there. And that's the neat thing about this brushed metal look is it doesn't show fingerprints all on it. And that's a beautiful thing, especially if you have a singer that likes holding the mic or whatever. Um, it just always looks clean. But this microphone, I want to tell you what. There's four screws. I think I already went over this, but I'm gonna go over it again because I love talking about mics. But look, there is four screws. There's one here. I'm gonna get it a little closer. Check it out. Okay, so there's two at the top. I think you could see them, and then there's two at the bottom, right? You take these screws out, and here's the thing about these screws: you want to make sure you use a good screwdriver, and you want to make sure it's the right size screwdriver that you put in here on these screws so that you don't strip them or put any kind of marks on the screw itself. Once you get the right screwdriver and you know it's a good fit and in there, it's fairly easy to unloosen those screws. I was surprised how easy they came out. But even further than that, I just didn't want to I didn't want to take a chance on, jacking up the screws, stripping it out or getting those sometimes if you use the wrong screwdriver, or if you use a screwdriver that's jacked up a little bit, um you can, damage the screw, and it doesn't look good. You can tell somebody's been in it. So anyway, I unscrewed these four screws right here, right? And when you do that, you can actually this whole front grill from right there where the seam is. Let me show you. Okay, you see that seam right there? This whole front of the grill comes off. And then what I noticed, the plosives of this microphone was so bad, y'all. You couldn't get close to the microphone and talk into it like this without a bunch of popping P's. Pop, 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 pop. The O P and the B thing was just so bad. And whenever I'm doing broadcasts or anything like that, I want to be able to get up close to the microphone and talk to the microphone, and get that sound, get that radio sound going or whatever. And so with this microphone, I was like, oh my gosh, it's such a beautifully aesthetic microphone. I got to be able to do that with this mic. So, like I said, I took those four screws out. This whole front comes off. And when it came off, I was like, okay, man, I can't believe they actually got away with selling this mic with so little foam inside of it. And I was like, oh man, I gotta fix this, man. I gotta fix it. And so I actually cut some old foam out, stuffed it in here, man, and actually put 2 layers. Yeah, 2 layers of foam in here. So it's really like that thick. I had some extra laying around here. I don't know what I did with it, but it was literally that thick of foam that I put in front of the capsule. And keep in mind, the capsule is somewhere right around the middle. Okay. And the first layer that I actually cut an X in the foam and then pushed it over the capsule so that it actually went back toward the back of the microphone and closed any sound off that would be coming in the back. And and then I actually put a couple, pieces in front of it, 2 pieces at that. Ah, it solved the problem, man. It actually went away. And now I can get up close to this microphone and talk into it. And I love it, man. Sounds so good. It doesn't sound like my Shure SM7B, but I did order something online and I'm going to do a test with y'all. I'm not going to tell you exactly what I did. I ordered uh I ordered one of these foam foam pieces right here. Okay. And I ordered a shock mount and I'm gonna take another microphone that's the Shure SM7B's brother. And I'm actually going to do a test between the Shure SM7B and its brother. And it's gonna be a good show. You do not want to miss out on that show, man. Ah, and you know what I'm curious to know too, because its brother has been around a very, very long time and was never considered to be an actual microphone for broadcast. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when I add a shock mount to it and when I add some extra foam to it, man. We're going to check it out, man. We're going to do an A/B comparison side by side. And I'll need you guys to actually help me out as to far as what it sounds like. I want some feedback from you guys, man. So you guys are gonna have to write in and tell me what you think. I mean, I hear things a certain way through my cans, but when you're listening to it through your computer and your speakers, you can hear things a different. You'll pick up on things that I don't hear, right? So I'm gonna want to hear your feedback on everything. So anyway, the microphones are just really, really good, and I don't know how long it's going to take. I did order the shock mount and the wind foam from Amazon, so I'm not sure how long Amazon is actually going to take before they can get that here. Usually, it takes about 3 days or so, 3 or 4 days regular mail, and I can have it here. So within that period of time, just be expecting a great video that I'm actually going to put out on the Shures, the 2 Shure microphones. We're going to do an A/B and see which one sounds best, and for the money, which one, what route you might want to go. Because this mic right here is like $3.99, and the microphone that I'm actually going to do the test on is a $99 microphone. It's baby brother. Okay. Um, but yeah, Shure makes some great microphones. They've always made great microphones, and you've got to have a Shure microphone in your mic locker. If you don't have a Shure microphone in your mic locker, I want to let you look at this baby right here up close. How beautiful! What a nostalgic, beautiful microphone. Now, I do want to say this. Healy has a microphone now. It's called the Healy Fin microphone. It's like $249. This microphone I am going to buy. Nobody's going to give me the money. I'm not going to promote it or anything like that. I just want to buy this microphone to test it out and to do some broadcasting stuff with it. It's a microphone. It looks kind of cool, but it comes with, you can get it with blue foam or red foam or white foam on the inside of it. And it's kind of shaped like an old, I don't know, kind of looks like a daggum something you'd see on an old car headlight or something. Just really super cool, man. It's called the, I want to say the Healy Fin mic, but anyway, it has a switch on the bottom of it of the mic, and when you, it's a dynamic microphone, so it doesn't take phantom power to run the microphone, and it takes pretty much a lot of power to actually run the mic, but to push it, not as much gain as the Shure SM7B, but from what I hear, it takes a good amount of gain to actually push it to where the mic opens up and you can actually hear the mic working at its best. But here's the thing: when you apply phantom power to this microphone, This is what happens. It lights up. The whole daggum microphone lights up, so it can light up red, or it can light up blue, or it can light up green, white. Ah, so I'm going to get this microphone in my studio, and we're going to do a test on it too. We're going to put it up against the Shure 55, and we're going to put it up against its baby brother, maybe the 58 or maybe the 57. I haven't decided on which one I'm going to do an A/B test on it yet. But isn't that just a beautiful mic, guys? Now, Shure makes the Shure 55. I want to say the classic or something like that, but it's got right here. It doesn't have a switch on it like this one. I like this one because it had the switch on it because it reminded me of my old nostalgic vintage Shure 55. But the ones they have out now with no switch just says 55 right there. And it's quite a bit more pricey than this microphone. And you can get it with blue mesh on the inside of it as well. Now, I'm not sure if it comes in red, but I do know it comes in blue. But yeah, having these old microphones out these days is just really, really a cool thing to, be able to go back in time. And if you're doing live performances or whatever, or you have a certain act that's actually coming on stage, having these older microphones like this, man, is such a cool thing to actually see the artist singing through one of these. And it's just a really neat thing. Kind of puts everybody in the vibe of, the music, right? You see an artist up there singing through one of these, and you're like, oh man, let's hear some 50 stuff, or let's hear some cool rockabilly stuff. Or heck, man, let's just hear some cool modern stuff sing through this baby. Really, really cool thing, man. So anyway, yeah, Healy, the Fin. It's called the Fin. Look it up, man. And you tell me what you think about that microphone. Like I say, I want to say it's like 249 or something like that. And I want to say I looked it up on Guitar Center. It's a website. You can go to guitarcenter.com and find it there. But it looked like a really cool mic, man. And as you guys know, I love microphones and anything to do with audio gear. I love talking about audio gear, man. Ah, also, I haven't heard back from my t-shirt company. I'm actually going to reach out them tomorrow and say, hey guys, the last run you did on my Audio Master t-shirts were rock and roll, lightning fast. Did you drop the ball or what, man? Because I want to know. I got my group and I got my Audio Master subscribers shouting down, knocking on my door and saying, "Hey, man, where's that Audio Master T-shirt, man? Where's that T-shirt? Where's that red, white, and blue T-shirt at, man?" No, I'm just playing with you. But I am gonna reach out to them tomorrow, and I'm gonna find out what's taking long. The girl did say that she had to order this bunch from out of Dallas. So maybe it's just taking a while for the shirts actually to get there for them to do the printing. But they are going to be really, really, really smash and killer, man. They're going to have it's going to be a white and gray like shirt, like a blend that they call it a heather. And then the audio master is going to be in red. The stars are going to be in blue. So you'll have blue stars there, and then you'll have blue stars here, which are 5 stars. And then you'll have the on this side you'll have the logo, the YouTube, and it'll the little button here will be red, just like the YouTube stuff. But it's gonna be really cool, man. So the shirts are gonna be really nice, and I can't wait to get them out. I can't wait to start distributing them, and it's just gonna be great. So I wanted to tell you something. So and I might have mentioned this too in another video in the past, but have you ever like planned for something and really had everything down on the schedule as to what you were going to do and when you were going to do it and how you were going to do it and what time you were going to meet, and you had all this stuff worked out. And then this day comes around to do all those things that you had on the list. Well, the first thing that you had on the list got jacked around and you wasn't going to be able to do it till later on in the day. Okay, and then the second thing that you were gonna do, it just didn't happen. So then you had to go to the next thing that you were going to do. And then that just didn't seem to pan out. And so everything that you did or had planned out to do didn't work out for you. It was one of those days where you could actually call it was a Monday. It was a Monday today, even though it was a Thursday. And so that happens to us sometimes, right? And then you have those days where you get up and you go about doing your business and taking care of your business, and things you didn't plan for, these nice doors open, and it's like, oh wow, they let me in line. I wasn't expecting that. I thought I was going to have to do this, or I thought, everything just goes so smooth, and all these little doors open, and these little special little the guy in front of you buys your meal at the fast food restaurant, and you never get a chance to say things, stuff like that, things you didn't plan on, but it worked out for the good, right? And so you got those days every now and then too, right? And so today was one of those days for me, man, where I wasn't expecting anything, and everything just was great. And so it's a beautiful thing when things like that happen, and you just feel like, hey, this is a meant to be thing, and I did. It was effortless. Things are good when they're effortless, right? Where you can just go and it's just easy. It's easy when it's just easy. It's nice, right? So thank you guys so much for joining in tonight. If you have not, hit that subscribe bell right down there, like a snare, except not a trap, but like a snare drum. Rap a dap on that snare, man, and get on in and subscribe to the channel, man. If you hover your little mouse right over that little audio master, it should be right there in that corner, right about there. There's a little audio master icon. You hover your mouse over that icon and you click it, a little subscribe button will come up, and you can subscribe right there. If you do that, then you're halfway there. There's a little bell right underneath that. And if you hover your mouse over that bell and click it, boom, you get the grand slam, man. You'll get notified when I come on, man, and we got some great material I'm going to be putting out, interviewing musicians, engineers, talking studio gear, hanging out with Steven, watching him work in the studio, bringing up old tapes, API gear, you name it. We're going to be using it, and it's just going to be a beautiful thing to see it all come together and all come together as a hub. I love coming on here and hanging out with you guys, man. This just is great. I love to be inspired by you guys, and I love that y'all inspire me. Thank you so much for everything that you do. Thank you for joining the Facebook group. That's awesome. Thank you, Tony Drake, for subscribing to the channel and also hanging out with us and sharing your lovely, beautiful photos and music on the group. It's such a beautiful thing. Keep it up. I hope this inspires you to continue on and to press forward in these times that we're in, because if you continue on and doing what you're doing, doors you weren't expecting to open are going to come upon you right now, and you're just going to have great things happen for you, man. And I wish these things for you and all the best and your success at whatever you do. You too, Steven, all you subscribers out there that hang on the channel, man. I wish the best for all of y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all are all appreciated here on the Audio Master channel. You do not want to miss out on tomorrow night. Texas time between 7 and 8 o'clock in the Big B, Texas time. Show up, hang out with me. We're going to have a great show. Maybe even Steven will pop in, and we'll get in his studio, man, and we'll start working that studio, right? We'll start working in his studio, and he'll start showing us some really cool stuff that he's doing on his mixing board and through his mic pre's and EQs. I love when he goes in the board, out of the board, into the compressors, all that back into the board on the right and left channel. He's just doing some hang out with us tomorrow night. You do not want to miss out, man. Between 7 or 8 Texas time, the Big B right here, man. Join the channel, and we will see you tomorrow.